Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to yet another magnificent day of Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I swear we're still playing the game, guys. I know I've been busy. I know my uploads haven't been perfect, but we're still playing it, I promise. But seriously though, hey everybody, Demon here, and welcome back to some more Pikmin 3 Deluxe. In the last episode, we went chasing after a very surprising food thief. I call him surprising because we just rescued him, and Omar ran off with all of our food, and more importantly, the captain's rubber ducky, the fiend he is. And even though it seems like all hope is lost, thankfully we know that he's somewhere over in the Garden of Hope, and we're rapidly approaching his location, so he better be ready for us. Because when we get over there, Brittany's going to tear him a new one. Seriously, do not mess with that woman's fruit. However, before we get going on the chase once again, how about we check out what the captain and crew are up to doing. With the addition of these blue Pikmin, we can now confirm that there are 5 variants of Pikmin. Oh yeah, I guess I should mention, we also found blue Pikmin last time. It's not that big a deal though, you know, just a whole new species of Pikmin. That's whatever, you know. Yeah, anyways. Based on the trends we've seen, Pikmin appear to evolve in ways that suit their surroundings. That would explain how they can handle different environments. Our real struggle's only just begun. Under our command, just how far can this army of Pikmin... You two talk too much, let's go. Poor Captain Charlie, man, he has not been catching a break. Although he did sound like he was hyping up a very cool episode of Pikmin Ball Z or something of the sort. I'm a nerd. Anyways, let's just get going to the Garden of Hope. Let's go. Oh, the Garden of Hope. We've been here quite a few times now. However, we're here on a mission to find the food thief. Find the Hakatoshin, as the game has just told you. And hey, it's raining. Nice and pleasant. I always like rain in this area. It looks very nice. Very relaxing with the music too. That being said though, we have no time to relax. We gotta get going. And as you can see there on the field, there's actually already 2 Pikmin already out. So you're probably wondering how'd that happen. But to answer you, my good, jolly, curious fellow, we need to go on over. Let me just exit quickly. I'll leave Charlie over here though, just so I can show this off quickly. This way to where we found the blue onion last time. Also, hello there, fruit. How you doing? As you can see, 2 blue Pikmin sprouts are actually left here, and there's a good reason for this. It's because we left 2 Pikmin on the ground yesterday. And when you leave Pikmin on the ground, they cannot be eaten. However, they will actually mature while you're away, and you can pick them up on the very next day, next time you're over in the area, as flower Pikmin, which is actually a pretty handy feature and pretty cool. If you're ever in a moment of panic where you don't have enough time to pluck your Pikmin, no need to fear. It's just going to be a helpful feature that you have to pick up on the next day. Instead of, you know, them dying, which I'd say is a lot better than, you know, death. That being said, though, for today, when it comes to our actual Pikmin squad, I'm thinking I want, obviously as many blues as possible. We're going to be doing a lot in the water. 20 winged Pikmin, and then maybe, like, 20 rock. I think this is what I want to go with for today. For the time being, anyways. We can always change it up, of course. Let's go with this very pleasant colored squad. We got pink, we got rock, and we got blue. Although I guess rock is not really a color. I guess I should say gray. And before we get going on today, we may as well go ahead and carry this back. Now that being said, for the rest of today, the rock Pikmin, I'm kind of sorry to do this to you guys, but you're going to be kind of hanging over here with Charlie for a little bit, because for the rest of okay, not for the rest of the day, but for a lot of the rest of the day, we're going to be messing around in the water. And when it comes to the water, obviously rock Pikmin are no dice. They'll just, you know, sink like rocks. I know, my humor is immaculate. And while the blue Pikmin are working on that over there, I'm going to leave Brittany over there. Actually, I'll leave Brittany over here to watch them. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to go over here with Alf. And the reason for this is because even though the winged Pikmin can't go in the water, they can carry stuff throughout the water. And if we go over this way, as you can see on the radar over here, we have a clipboard. And when there's a clipboard, we must lift like champions. Like a good day at the gym. Because within here, we got ourselves a nice little apricot. I think it's an apricot. It looks like one anyways. Maybe my Pokemon brain is working a little too much here, but it looks like an apricot. Still working on that. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. And I guess while that's going on, I can have Charlie run back to base quickly and pick up our Pikmin who just delivered that fruit. And apparently the wall just went down. It did. Alright, cool. Now, there are 2 primary objectives for today. One is to get across this river, because our good old Hawkitation friend, if I can figure out where the map is over this way, which is across the river, as you can see. And our other objective is to get this built, because this is going to be how we actually get across the river. So we need to figure this out. However, my mapping skills have already informed us, by that I mean I've played this game before, that if we go on over this way, we can find ourselves some pieces. However, these do not look like bridge pieces, but looks like for something else. Which, we'll find out what that's for very soon. However, quick mention. That over there, this dirt mound here, this is not just for looks. Be very careful about walking near there. There's something awaiting you in that dirt mound. It is not looking forward to you traveling on its home. So just be very careful about how you go over this way. And I guess, if you can come with me, why not? So down over here, got the fruit over that way. So now instead, we're gonna go over this way. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Elf, I know I just came over here. Also, side note, I like how if you throw cabins in the water, they kind of float for a second. I think it's kind of funny. Look at this. Kind of a fun little detail I like. So I'm gonna have Elf go over here and wait for the Pikmin to finish doing their business over this way. And in the meanwhile, Charlie, we're doing a lot at one time. I'm gonna have Charlie go over this way and return back to everybody else. And Brittany can kind of just, hang around, I guess, because the blue Pikmin are busy, and we kind of need blue Pikmin to do anything else in the water, so... For the meanwhile, we're gonna have Brittany over this way. As you can see, the pieces they're grabbing over there were actually for this thing. This contraption, this magical device. There we go, got all the pieces over this way, and believe it or not, that's actually not all the pieces for whatever the heck we're building over that way, but it is a good chunk of them. So now we got that out of the way, we can actually keep on going this way. Have them bring this stuff on over this way. Like so. And I just realized they're gonna go back. Okay, Alf, just in case, just keep an eye on them. I'm not sure who's going where at the current moment, so let me just have Alf keep an eye on them. Yeah, Charlie, you can go ahead and join Brittany. It'd be like a romantic getaway or something, I don't know. Yeah. And if I look over this way, as you can see, the actual other piece we're looking for is right across over this wall. And unfortunately, to get over to this wall, we got a few enemies to kill, which means we gotta get the blue Pikmin, because there's no way we're getting through there at the current moment with all those enemies by. So we're gonna need to get all of our blue Pikmin and prepare to fight. Let the rest of the blues come back. That's 20, that's all of them, very good. All the wings back now, we don't need this gate open anymore for the time being. And now we'll make our way over here to show these guys who's the real king of the water. I'm the king of the sea, they call me, what's his name, Aquaman? Okay, Aquaman's kind of lame, I shouldn't call myself Aquaman. Anyways, besides the point, you there! Face the wrath of my blue carrot men! My army! One down. Round two. Nice and easy. Like I said, these enemies here, they're not too strong. If he's just swarm your blue Pikmin onto them, you'll be just fine. And this guy over here, the good old Waddlepuss, which again was one of the most adorable names. It's not harmful, he'll just kind of blow bubbles and knock your Pikmin away, which is it's annoying, but not that exactly harmful. As you can see, they just fall out eventually over time. If you whistle onto them, I'm pretty sure they come out pop out faster. Like so, there you go. And in the meanwhile, we'll have them work on this wall over this way, because we need to get through here to get over these pieces. And speaking of enemies, we have a weird enemy over here. I've been wanting to talk about for a while. That over there is one of the weirdest enemies in the entire series, the Toady Bloister. And I cannot wait to show you guys what this is, because this thing is bizarre. Like, even for Pikmin and Nintendo standards, that enemy has always been like, why does this exist? I love it, don't get me wrong, but it's freaking weird. You can probably already guess what I'm going to say about it if you look at it from a distance, because this thing is just bizarre. Alright, there we go, got through, perfect. Alright, so this over here, like I mentioned, is the Toady Bloister, and this enemy is bizarre. It's like a slug kind of enemy. It's not a slug, it's not quite a slug, but it has like the kind of a similar body to a slug. It's got a radish or a beet for a tail, or an onion, I guess you could say. It's probably closer to an onion than anything. It's got little beanstalks for eyes that are blue. It's got a giant mouth. It's just a strange enemy. And it doesn't do it in this game, I'm pretty sure. However, in Pikmin 2, it actually moves like a cow. It also spits out ink to defend itself. It doesn't do any damage, I don't believe, but like, you can kind of see what I'm talking about, right? This enemy's just freaking bizarre, even for Nintendo standards. And then when you defeat it, it turns into just its tail. I don't get this enemy. They were bizarre when they were making this enemy. I love it, don't get me wrong. But it's one of the weirdest enemies in Nintendo history. This is like Earthbound levels of weird. But anyways, ignoring him, there's actually a little bit of something as you can see on the radar over this way. There's another fruit hanging over here. And normally you're supposed to wait for a little bit longer until you get this. However, using the wonderful cheat code known as the Wing Pikmin, we can just send our Pikmin over there with the charge and get it immediately. Pretty handy. While they're working on all that, we'll wait for them to come back over here with all the pieces. Because believe it or not, this is actually the finale. Once we get this done, we're actually done building whatever the heck this thing is. Although at this point, you can probably make it what it is. It's like a weird piece of, what would we call it? Cutlery? It's like a flower pot. Actually, why did I say cutlery? It's not a cutlery. For some reason, I was thinking of like a pot, but then I had a brain fart. It's definitely supposed to be like a broken flower pot. However, more importantly, now that we have this out of the way, let me go ahead and put my Wing Pikmin over here. We have ourselves a new way to get over to the other side of the river. As you can see, we can throw our Pikmin and cactus over this way and get across, which is very handy. However, before we go on over that way, take my advice here. Make sure you are prepared to fight for your life, because across this river is one of the deadliest enemies in the entirety of the game. And if you are not prepared for this enemy, it can really mess you up. And I'm going to go ahead and change my army up a little bit just to make sure we're prepared. Because the Wing Pikmin, as awesome as they are for grabbing things and just overall being useful, they're not the greatest at fighting enemies. So we're going to put away some of them, and instead I'll take out some red Pikmin. Like so. It may sound like I'm being overcautious, but trust me, this is in your best interest to prepare for this, because this enemy we're about to go fight is kind of nasty. And unfortunately, we're kind of running out of time here today, but we're making good progress. We got lots of fruit. We made our way across the river. We're doing pretty good. So now we have our pathway over here. All we have to do is lock on over here and throw our entire squad on over. It's going to take a second, but we got to do it, so we may as well get it out of the way. And make sure you have the lock-on feature on, because if you don't, there's a chance you'll throw your Pikmin into the water. And when you're this far into the water, like they fall into, there's a very good chance your Pikmin will drown. So make sure you're locked on just to be extra safe, because otherwise it can turn out rather bad for you. And you can kind of see the enemy I'm talking about. He's over there hiding there in that little can of sorts. That there is the Peckish Astro Crab. We're going to talk about him in just a second. Also, the single rock Pikmin. Hello? There you go, that was weird. There we go, Charlie, sum the whole squad with you. Don't fall off. And this enemy here is the Peckish Astro Crab. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm actually using my red potion for this, because this enemy is deadly. This enemy is incredibly intelligent, and it will use its claw to defend itself and run around and try and dodge your Pikmin. And the main trick to beating this enemy is throwing your rock Pikmin and trying to destroy its claw as fast as possible. Once you destroy its claw, it's not that scary. However, if you don't destroy its claw, it can be a giant hassle to take out. Thankfully, we took out the claw very fast, so it wasn't that bad. Trust me, if you're not prepared for this enemy with rock Pikmin, it can go a lot worse. Because if you don't destroy this thing's claw, it can be very deadly. Because it can just defend itself, it will grab your Pikmin and eat them. It's just overall really nasty. Now, the good news is that we got that out of the way, which means now there's nothing stopping us from finishing our last objective here before we go over this way, which is actually where apparently all of them are running off to. And that is building a bridge so the rest of our team can actually get over here. And unfortunately, I threw all my rock Pikmin into the ground over there, like, to dig, so I have nothing to break these crystals with. Kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. And honestly, for the rest of the day here, it's kind of just gonna be us because the other two captains are kind of just stuck on the other side of the lake, so we'll have to make do with what we got over here. And honestly, you guys stop slacking on the job. Get digging. We're running out of time here. We can't dilly-dally. And how did Brittany end up in the water? I just realized. How did she get over here? You know what, Brittany? Go sit in here. Think about what you've done. Yeah. Now, how are they doing over this way? They're making good progress. Go over Pikmin back. I'm gonna have everybody who's not a rock Pikmin work on building this. And in the meanwhile, the rock Pikmin get to work on this. And, oh, we're running out of time. Okay, we're gonna kind of get close here, but I think we'll be okay. Get the one red Pikmin. Finish building the bridge. And beautiful. We are able to get across the river now without any special means. We just walk on across nice and easy, which means we're all set to go for tomorrow. You better be ready, Olimar. We're coming. Tomorrow. And you better still have all of our food, or else I'm gonna be very pissed. Imagine you just ate all of our food while we're just making our way over to him. Could you imagine all this work being for nothing? That'd really suck. This one is really tasty. We got ourselves some free fruits here, and I think they're all repeats. Yeah, looks like nothing new. We got ourselves a citrus lump. Make some nice solid orange juice. Get some vitamin C. Get ourselves a velvet dream drop. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure it's an apricot. I could be wrong, but it looks like an apricot, and I play too much Pokemon to ignore it. So, it's probably an apricot. And of course, the lesser mock bottom, which, you know, you probably can figure what they're going for here. Yeah. Which makes some pretty good looking juice, can't lie. We can't let the Hakutation get away with this. Brittany is going to murder him when he gets his hands on her. Or hit her hands on him. Oops. Tomorrow on, I'll have to make sure that Elfie gets how crucial our search for fruit is. After all, that's the reason we're here. For once, I can't dog Brittany for being after fruit 24/7. We kind of need to get some fruit. We only got 2 bottles at the current moment. However, we're doing just fine. For the time being. After observing these winged Pikmin, my conclusion is that they are not very effective in combat. However, since they possess the ability to fly, they can be extremely useful for accomplishing certain tasks. I'll keep an eye out for any opportunities that utilize their unique ability. She forgot to mention that they're very adorable. But yeah, they're a useful Pikmin. She's right about that. She's right about that. That being said, though, we made our way, or made a lot of our, what am I trying to say here? Bleh. We made a lot of good passageways over to Olimar, meaning that tomorrow we're all set to go and go hunt him down and get our revenge. Which means tomorrow is going to be a busy day. That being said, though, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And next time on Pikmin 3 Deluxe, we'll be doing just that. Going to find Olimar and punch him in the face for taking our food. And also the rubber ducky, but mostly the food. See you guys then.